Okay, so I'm pretty much a huge Twilight fan, as some of you may know, like pretty much every other person on the planet right now. I figured it was only appropriate that I would do some kind of take on Kristen Stewart's makeup in the movie as Bella. And my version, as you can, I mean, to me, it's really not dramatic at all, but it's a bit more vampy. But the best part is that I found, and this is kind of exciting, some of you may know already, but I was excited about it. I found the list of the exact MAC products that were used on her in the film. And I just Googled it. The first site that came up was makeup411.com. And it seemed pretty reliable. They said that it was, that article that they had written about her makeup had been used in some kind of makeup artist magazine. So I kind of trusted their colors, what they said. They said that on her eyes, they used Blanc Type, Flute, and Wedge. And I decided, well, that may not be right, so I looked at a bunch of other ones, and the majority of the websites, the more reliable ones, said that. However, I did come across some that said Blanc Type, Flute, and Wedge. Okay, Flute and Flute are two totally different colors, and if you kind of saw the movie and you saw her makeup, Floof is definitely not what she's wearing. Floof is like a really bright frost. And I don't think she's wearing much frost on her lids. And Flute, I think where the confusion came, and I actually read this on someone's blog that had Flute, and they had corrected it. Some people, or some person wrote on their blog that the Flute was a misprint or a typo, and that someone had mistaken Flute or Floof for Flute or whatever. And they said, well, Flute's not a real matte color because it's not on the website, and that's not even, well, there's a lot of matte colors that aren't on the website anymore, like a lot of discontinued and whatever, limited edition, which Flute was. And it was more of like a rosy shade, like a dusty rose. And they said that the closest color in the permanent line right now that you can get is Girlie. And you think, okay, Bella, pink, that was not what she was wearing. Well, it's a very dusty grayed pink. And that's kind of what gives her that kind of almost grayed, like, but still a little bit natural tone to her eyelids. It was just they wanted it, I guess, to make her eyelids still look like, they could use some of the more like bland colors, but then still make her eyelids look healthy and alive. So, and then they said that on her lips, they used Benefit lipstick in Good to Go. I don't have that, but I have a color that's very similar. So like I said, my version is a bit more dramatic. You don't look at this and think, oh, that's dramatic makeup, but compared to the makeup in the movie that she was wearing, it is a little more dramatic. And all I did was I just added one more color to play up the eyes just a little bit. So, but not to say that her makeup in the movie was amazing. I mean, it was perfect for her. They really, really did a great job of making Kristen Stewart look like Bella. So, I really, really loved her makeup in the movie. But the whole color idea, the look is the same. It's just a little more defined. So if you guys want to try this out for yourselves and you want to see how I did it, keep watching. Okay, first I am taking my bare canvas paint, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger and dab it right in those two places. Then using a 217 brush, I'm just going to blend that out. If you find that paints aren't spreading easily and they look like they're kind of looking dry, try using an eye cream, because it's probably just dry skin. I know that if I ever use an eye cream, I usually always try to use one before putting on my makeup, and it really, really helps it spread easier. Not right before I put on my makeup, but like when I get out of the shower or something. And then whatever's left on the brush, take it right underneath your lower lash line. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk flat eyeshadow brush. This is similar to a MAC 252. And I'm going to take the Blanc Type eyeshadow, and it's just a really light cream. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as my brow highlight. Just dabbing it on. And I'm also going to take just a little bit of it and put it right in that inner corner. Alright, so first, since I don't have Girlie, I'm going to take the color that is the closest to it, or I guess I should say the closest to Flute, because that's the actual color they used. It's in my Coastal Scents 26 palette, and it's the second color from the left on the top. It's a really, really pretty dusty, almost like grayed rose. And I'm using my 239 brush, and I'm just going to dab that right in the center of my eyelid. And then I'm just going to take a little bit on the tip of the brush and go right underneath my lower lash line. Alright, then I'm going to take that same brush, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take Wedge, which is a pretty kind of like mid-tone brown, and I'm going to dab that around that pink color. And I'm also going to go lightly on the inner corner as well, because I'm just kind of closing in on that pink. So I've kind of gone around the pink. Alright, next I'm going to take a brush like the 224. I'm going to get that same color, and I'm going to go right into the crease. And then kind of just blend upward and outward on this outer corner. This brush shouldn't really be putting down much color, it should just be giving a really soft wash of that brown. I'm going to take a pencil brush like the 219. I'm going to take that same color, that brown, and I'm just going to go right over that pink, kind of taking it downward a little bit. So I'm kind of just smudging it down. Since I'm a little more dramatic, which this is by no means dramatic for me, it's more like an everyday look, but it's dramatic for Bella. I'm going to take Mystery, which is a really cool brown. It's almost like a plummy grayed brown. I'm going to take it on that same brush and kind of lightly line my eyes with it. Now later, I'm going to add a really, really thin line of black liner. But this is just going to kind of peek out from around it and make the liner look much less harsh. And you can also take a little bit on your brush and take it right underneath the outer corner of your lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to take my 217 brush, it's like a crease brush, and I'm going to take that same color right on the tip, and lightly I'm going to concentrate it in the outer corner first to put down the most color, and then I'm going to kind of swirl it up into the crease, sticking kind of in the outer 2/3. And then kind of when there's not much left on the brush, you can kind of blend it out. Now I'm going to take my Urban Decay 24/7 liner in 0, and I'm going to line my upper waterline, which is like tight lining, and I'm turning it sideways, and I'm just rubbing it very carefully along the base of my lashes. It's just going to make your lashes look thicker. Alright, so you could leave it like that, or if you're like me and you're totally addicted to black eyeliner, you can add just a very, very, very thin line. Ah, my camera cut off, sorry. So, what I was doing, I was saying that when you line your eyes after you've applied that the brown eyeshadow, it's good because you use that brown eyeshadow as a guide, so you don't extend the eyeliner beyond that. And then all I did was I applied a thin line, or a thin layer of black mascara. I used my MAC Plush Lash in Very Black. And for the eyeliner, I didn't wing it out or do anything like that. I just stuck really close to the lashes, like very, very close. Alright, so I'll be right back and we'll complete the look. Okay, so for the lips, since I don't have that Benefit color, and many of you may not as well, all you have to do is just find a kind of medium shade. You don't want it to be too dark, you don't want it to be too light. Really natural berry color. And I use Viva Glam 5 because on me it doesn't look super dark. It just kind of looks like a berry, like really natural shade. And I didn't use any lip gloss because her lips really aren't that shiny. It's more of like a natural look. And then for my blush, you definitely can do some contouring and stuff, which I did. For that, I just used my Coastal Scents Contour and Blush Palette, and I did it just like I did in my foundation video. But you definitely don't want to go overboard on bronzer. You can use just a little bit. I did just a teeny bit, like on my chin and on my forehead, just because I'm so pale. But, you know, you can't really tell that I even did it. So, you know, keep it really natural. You definitely don't want to go overboard on the bronzer. You don't ever want to go overboard on the bronzer. But for the cheeks, I looked up the color that she used, and it was, I cannot even name the brand. It was something that I had never heard of. And it was a really just basic, light plum pink shade. It wasn't a warm pink, it was a very, very light, cool pink. So I decided to use my Stark Naked blush, which is a beauty powder blush, so it has a really subtle shimmer to it. But it doesn't the shimmer doesn't really show up on the skin, it just kind of gives you a healthy glow. So I'm just going to apply that with a 187 brush. This is actually my Ulta highlighter brush, but it's the same as a 187. And I'm just applying that to the cheeks just to give me like a healthy glow. Alright, and if you want, you can take, since, you know, it is a very pale look, and you can kind of, you know, especially, I mean, I don't want to say this, but if you don't add the eyeliner, you can, you know, it can make you look a little tired, and you want your skin to look really bright. So I'm going to use my Flower Mist Dew Beauty Powder by MAC. It's the Emmanuel Ungaro kind from that collection, and I'm just using a fluffy brush. And I'm just dusting that right over the blush, a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on my chin. And that's just going to give me like a healthy glow without adding a lot of color. It's just going to kind of blend everything together and make my skin look kind of glowy. So, without shimmer, which you definitely don't want to use really any shimmer at all in this look. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this helps some of you out who were curious. And I hope this helps some of you out who were curious about her makeup, and maybe you'll try it out, and if you do, I'd love to see it, so send me a video response, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.